Hi guys. Right now I want to show you the Wordreference Forums, which is an internet forum that is basically just a place where people who are interested in learning languages go for to discuss it and to help each other. And this is something I want to emphasize that this is sort of a last resort that you should use. It's very effective. It's very good at doing what it is that you need it to do. But it should be a last resort because first of all, the other things are generally going to be faster. If you just want to know what a word means, or you're trying to look up a curse word or some slang or something like that, Spanish Dict or Urban Dictionary or Google Translate, they're probably going if they have it, they're going to be a lot faster. So check with them first. Not only that, but if it's something simple that could have been looked up via a standard reference, people on the word reference forums aren't going to be too happy that you're wasting their time asking this question. Like if you ask, what does this word mean in Spanish? Well, you could have just looked that up in a dictionary, so why didn't you? Additionally, remember to search because there's an excellent chance that your question has already been asked. If you'll search the word reference forums, there's a very, very good chance it's already been asked, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. But if the other standard references fail you, you can get an answer on the word reference forums very, very quickly, and the people in there are fantastic. They're very, very friendly. If you just follow a couple basic guidelines, primarily remember to search first, and don't ask about something that's already been asked. You'll find they're very, very friendly and they're very, very helpful. I find that the few times, and it's actually been maybe half a dozen times, that I've needed to pose a question on there about Spanish, I've had an answer within 5 to 15 minutes typically. What I'd advise you to do is once you've posted your question, just leave that tab open in your browser and then reload it about 5 or 10 minutes later. You'll probably have 2 or 3 answers to your question already. Okay? So let's have a look at that. All right, let's have a look at word reference here. You can get to the forums either by searching Google for word reference forums, or you could just go to wordreference.com here and then scroll down. You'll see more language forums or here language forums. Just click on that and you'll be taken to the word reference language forums. And the Spanish English sections right up at the top. They got vocabulary, grammar, specialized terminology, and resources. You're probably going to be using the vocabulary and the grammar sections. As I said before, this should be a last resort. If you can't figure something out via the usual suspects of Spanish Dict and Google Translate or Dictionary and just Google itself, then you would come here. Funny thing is, if you have got a phrase or an expression you're trying to figure out in Spanish and you Google it, odds are very good that the top result in Google will be a word reference forum thread answering the question and explaining the phrase that you're asking about. I've just found that to be the case very frequently. But anyway, if you will go here to the forum homepage, and you don't need to be a member to search or to read or anything. You do if you're going to ask a question, and getting membership is it's very easy. It's free. It takes 2 minutes. It's not a problem. But let's say that you are watching Pan's Labyrinth and you're using the telenovela method with it, and you come across the phrase, and I know that it is used in that movie. The phrase is "Os va la vida en ello." That is a Spanish idiom. Let's write it out. La vida en ello. There we go. And what it literally means, and what you'll do is you'll look up the individual words to try and determine what it means. You'll look up os and va la vida en ello, and you'll get the literal translation, something like you goes the life in them, or something along those lines. And that won't make any sense to you. The literal translation isn't going to help you. Looking at the individual words isn't going to help you. It's not an Urban Dictionary, and I've run it through Google Translate. Google Translate doesn't quite get it either. So let's say you're about ready to give up and ask some of the people on Word Reference what this means, and you take my advice and you remember that you need to search first. I'll put it up here and search. The first thing it's going to do is run it through their dictionary. Their dictionary is okay. I prefer Spanish Dict. The interface is a little bit easier. They have the videos and a lot of other things that are better about it. But anyway, you'll run it through the dictionary and you'll see this term cannot be found. And they can't find it. All right, fine. You'll scroll down and look for forum discussions. Forum discussions with the words Os va la vida en ello in the title. That's what you want right there. And there is one right there. And you see this person has asked about it. They asked about it in Spanish. If you can't understand this, you can just copy and paste this into Google Translate if you need to understand the question, which in this case you don't because the answer is right there and it's in English. Os va la vida en ello means your life depends on it. That's perfect. That's exactly correct. You will find, I would say probably 80 to 90% of the time, your question has already been asked. So I do recommend you search first, not just so that you don't annoy the people on here, but also just because it'll be faster for you. It's much faster than starting a new thread and asking the question and waiting 10 or 15 minutes for it to be answered and all that. It's just much faster this way, so it makes more sense to search first. And that's pretty much it for the word reference language forums. If you have, like I said, if you have any questions about Spanish, whether it's grammar or idioms or slang, curse words, whatever, if you can't figure it out by the other resources, then come here and search. And if it hasn't been addressed already, then start a new thread on it. And your question will be answered promptly and politely. I found the people here are fantastic. It's a really great crowd. Just so long as you follow a couple simple guidelines when using the forums. Most importantly, search first to make sure it hasn't already been asked. People here are very, very friendly and very helpful. So that's pretty much it for the word reference forums.
Oh, one more thing. If you're interested in teaching yourself Spanish using free online resources, especially if you like the idea of using things like Spanish language movies and TV shows and books to teach yourself Spanish, which is the method that I specialize in, the telenovela method. A telenovela is a Spanish language soap opera. Then check out my website at howlearnspanish.com. That's howlearnspanish.com because howtolearnspanish.com was already taken. I'll also put a link to it below in the description if you're watching this on YouTube.